So now we're recording the galvanic procedure and the equipment. All right, so we've got all of my, has all my electricity on this main machine, and I have to put the power on it too. So I've got the power on and the power button, and if you wanted the steamer to heat up, see how when I turn it on, it is not going to steam right away because it has to start to boil again. And then also the power button comes on, but the ozone button should be off. So of course I've got a sunlight or something coming in. So the ozone button is off so that it's going to steam heavy first, and then you can turn ozone, which is an oxidating, sanitizing kind of a steam that goes deeper into the skin, good for dry skin or mature skin, but you can never start with ozone first. Okay, so you can see, let's see how long it takes. I had warmed it up this morning in case we went to use it. All right, so galvanic is my second one here. Let's just see. And I'm going to follow these two cords. So we have two cords. So I have, it's kind of good because I can use I can use either one or the other, and I can change my hands sets here without having to change everything, taking it off. So let's just take all of them out here so we can kind of grab them easily. Everything is disinfected and was in the UV sterilizer. So let's untangle them. There we go. All right, so here you see these two are attached. Let's just find where they're attached to this one. Okay. It's kind of got little pictures on it up close. I would always do this, like when I clean my machine, I would take a few minutes and untangle them, so you know, because I'm always going to use galvanic on just about everybody, or high frequency. Okay, so this whole set here has a little picture, which probably you can't see, but it shows the rod, the connecting rod, or the grounding rod, which is this one. So it has a little picture of that one, and then it has a picture of the little ball, the little tiny ball one. So I'm going to put those into my machine. Of course, now I would want to sanitize my hands, have gloves on, right, as I put these in so that you don't contaminate them again. So we're going to just put in the connecting rod. It just pushes in, and then we do have to screw in the little ball electrode. This is good for the areas around the nose. Okay, or the curves of the chin and that. The other ones, I could already have, I would have already had them cleaned and disinfectant, and then see how I keep them in my UV sterilizer box. And I would have the roller and the other electrode, the grounding one. So what that means is these grounding ones is what the client holds onto, or you put it on a wet sponge under her shoulder. And that pulls the electricity into her. So let me find these other ones, because you should have them all set up because you're going to use them all. So here's the other ones. So I would, oops, where did it go? Here it is. This one, the electrodes that are wands screw in, at least for my machine. I mean, they all might be a little bit different. There we go. And then the electrodes that they hold on to is just pushed in. All right, so I'm going to sit these two aside, can put them back up here. Okay, so I've got one here, and I've got the grounding one there. Actually, I'm probably going to use it the opposite order. I usually don't use the one around their nose first, but anyways, I have it all detangled, so let's do that. So we have a little plus sign that's lit up. I don't know if you can see that very well. Can you see the plus sign?
The plus sign on the machine?
Yeah, plus
Yeah.
and a negative.
Yeah,
Say
just
where it
barely.
changes? Just barely. Yep. Okay, hold on. Probably when I let go of this again, it's gonna fall. Okay. So the steamer is boiling now. So you're gonna see that it's gonna start to come out. I'm gonna turn it off. If you ever want to add humidity to your room, you can just turn on your steamer and it'll help out a lot. Let me just turn it off because I don't really want to get steamed. Okay, so what I'm
It's a
going to
cool
do,
machine, though.
hmm?
It's a cool machine. It's awesome that it does everything.
It's nice because it's all there and you can just move it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the problem with counters is that then what if you change the way your room is, or, you know, do they have long enough cords or whatnot? Okay, so what I'm going to do is the electron here, she's going to hold that with a wet sponge or wet cotton. Let's just use the cotton. In her hand, one of her hands, or if she's got bare shoulders, you can just tuck it under her shoulder is the easiest way. Just make sure that, you know, she knows, tell her, and then that stays contact and that it stays wet. You know, so put another towel underneath there so you don't get a big wet spot on the bed. And then it's underneath her shoulder, okay? Anyways, it's underneath one. You don't really need to see that. Or she can hold on to it. People kind of feel like, oh, what if I let go? What if I don't hold it hard enough? So they're kind of like nervous when they have to hold it. So I like to just put it under their shoulder if they have a bare arm, you know, or bare shoulder, back, you know, it works good. So this is the one that I'm going to use, and I'm going to use it around her nose area. So I'm going to use it for disincrustation. So I want to use it in the negative mode, which is negative actually pushes in product and melts the sebum. Positive has to be with an alkaline, or I mean a neutralizing type of product that you want to push it in and keep it deep and tone and tighten the skin. So whereas the disincrustation liquid, I'm going to apply to a cotton or to a gauze mask. So it's actually kind of cool. I've just used cotton pads, but these are really nice because these gauze masks you can use for paraffin treatment or for any kind of disincrustation. Okay, so I'm going to just show you this because it's looks cool. Everybody likes them. And then let's move this back over here. Yeah. Does that look okay from that view?
Yeah.
So what this makes it a little bit easier because it'll hold, just put both eyes on their eyeballs. There we go. So it just holds the product there. Or I would apply the disincrustation liquid with my sponge, but you got to watch it. You don't like run it into their eyeballs, right? I'm just going to use cotton because my sponges aren't wet. So I'm going to give it a shake. Okay, give this a shake, and then really wet my cotton area. And then I'm going to make sure that I wet the gauze mask on the areas that she needs the disincrustation, which is what? Nose, forehead, chin, maybe some on the jawline. So it just kind of like keeps their skin wet. You could just do it without it, you know, and just apply the cotton, but you have to make sure you keep their skin wet. The old days, our machines had a like a piece of sponge on it that would keep the wand wet, but now of course you
Mhm.
can't sanitize those, right? So, you know, that doesn't work well. That's why the gauze or placing cotton is kind of helpful. So we've done her cleansing, we've done an exfoliation product, and let's say that we steamed too, and you know, did all the hot towels, but still, if we just extracted, just like what you did the other day, nothing really came out, right? Like it's hard to get out those blackheads and all that. There we go. So she's got the grounding um, electrode underneath her back, her shoulder there. And I'm just going to keep this wet here. You could even pour some of this, like probably would be a good thing is to pour some into your little bowl so that then you can just dip. All
Mm.
right. Yeah, like right here, or keep it where my mouse isn't. There. Okay. And then what we're going to do, you have to start and have it connected to their skin, touching their skin before you start. If you just put it on their skin, it's going to like tingle them. So I will start and do circular movements, keeping it moving. Okay, and we can do her bare nose as long as it stays wet and moist. So that's why I keep the cotton. So I'm going to keep it moving. That's why I usually start with a roller, because it's kind of like easier just to roll it back and forth. But and I'm going to touch her skin. It's on negative charge because we have disincrustation, and we're going to push it to start, and it's at 1. So she won't feel anything. We're going to raise it up. We're going to keep it moving in different areas. Don't keep it on the same areas. And let's raise the number up to like 4 or 5. You'll be able to see where it's at. Number 4. Can you see that? Yeah.
Mhm.
So 4 or 5. And keeping it moving on her now. There
So
we go.
always keep it at like a 4 or 5. Like it should
You
always
could
be
go
around.
higher. Each area might be, each area might, yeah, don't take it off. Each area might be more sensitive than the other. So you might have to adjust it and say, let me know when you can feel that, or if it gets too uncomfortable. They probably won't feel anything, especially around their nose, but then they might start to feel like a pulling or a magnetic kind of a feel. You can even do this on your own skin and then go. So if you have to go from here to there, you have to slide it over the area. That's why the roller is good. It's just much
Why do you
easier
have to keep contact with it?
because it otherwise it'll kind of like irritate their skin. They'll feel like somebody scratching them. It
Okay.
ungrounds them. So they have the electricity and the positive electrode in their body. They're like holding on to it
Mhm.
or laying on it. And then that is pulling this through into their skin. So you have to keep it on their skin and moving. So the
Okay.
electrode, I'm just going to turn this off and pretend because I don't really want to. So let's use the other one. So then we would have to change the whole set or attach that one to this set. Do you understand what I mean?
Mhm.
So because they go together. So they're wired with negative and positive. So either change the whole wire set, they go together, or else take this off and put it on here if you keep it on this one. So we're gonna change it to use the roller, which is what I prefer to start with. She's grounded, she's holding that with the wetness. And then let's make sure that we have our, where did my cotton go? Did I drop it? Let's get our wet cotton. And we're going to start with that. And you have a direction for the chart too. So it comes from out to in. And then we can raise it up for her. Say, how does that feel? Can you feel it? And then you come from the cheeks in. And you can't keep going over the same area too much. So we've done lots there. Now you have to change hands. So you kind of got to be ambidextrous, but don't just take it off of her face because it'll pull, especially in the middle of it. She's at level 5 intensity. She's going to feel like a zapping. Not as much of a zap as the high frequency, but it'll just feel like somebody's scratching her skin off. And that's probably enough. If she's not red or not pink, then you could do another passing.
Okay. Yeah.
It takes some practice. And then lower it and then turn it off. Then you can remove the contact. And then I would right away do her extractions then.
Okay.
Yeah. And you will see it just like it's just like they've come out already. Just creates like a soapy substance. It's amazing. And then you're going to unscrew all of those implements and wash them. So I put them in, I use those little like butter dish trays to put all my tools that I've used. And then I take them to the washroom and then wash them and then put them in my disinfecting liquid, the tray, for 10 minutes for mine, and then keep them in the UV sterilizer. So these just pull out. So that's why it's nice. You don't have to worry about changing the electrodes like with the same wires. Just my machine has all of them like included. Back in the old days, we had to like, oh, do I have this plugged in right? Do I have the negative in the positive or I have the positive in the negative? You know, it was like really complicated. Okay, so that's galvanic on the negative. So that creates a process called, let's just read here, cataphoresis is the other second process. This is the iontophoresis, which is the alkaline reaction, softens, and it melts the sebum out of the pores. So then we would do extracting and put on any serum, right? Or do the massage if you're going to do massage, or do a treatment serum like for healing up those areas. Put on like the acne one and do the massage or do a mask. Now, when we do the treatment serum, we can actually close and tighten her pores and push this down deeper into the level of like below her epidermis by using the positive. So we can change this to positive, and I would actually keep all those implements, that's fine, and then just put this on all over and penetrate and put it on. So that's going to push it in deeper into her skin and close the pores using that positive, and then she holds the negative. Okay, so that is called then the cataphoresis. Positive solutions cause an acidic reaction which tightens the skin, calms the skin, or soothes the nerve endings. So that's the second process. I usually always do deep pore cleansing with iontophoresis, which is the negative, and the disincrustation liquid. Then I extract, put on a serum, like this serum with the MSM and the DMAE, which creates collagen in their skin. And then I do the positive. She's holding the negative because it pushes it in and closes the pores. So it goes down deeper. So that's why Galvanic does a lot, like deep pore cleansing and anti-aging, especially pushing products in.
It's funny because I was just yesterday I'm starting to clean out this like rooms at work, and I was cleaning the Galvanic machine. So
Oh,
it's
good.
funny because it had that little circle, like
Yep.
the first one that you
For
used,
round the
and then
nose.
and then it had like a little
It's
lead
just
guy.
easier to start
Mhm.
with the roller one though,
Yeah.
because they, you can move it around, do her whole face, then focus on, because it won't come in any closer than this. Then you can switch it over, switch the wands, and then use the one around the nose and make sure. Yeah. But if you only wanted to do around the nose, that's fine. Then start with that. It's just for practicing, get the knack of how to use the wand one because it has more area, whereas that's like you can't go off and you can't start too strong. It kind of gives you a metal taste in your mouth too because
Mhm.
it's pulling the metals in and it's just you can taste it. But you won't feel much. Sometimes people don't feel that much. That's okay. You'll see it is working because it's on their skin and it's red or it's softening the pores, so you will really see it. Galvanic's my favorite. Okay, then we've got high frequency. Let's just move this over. Hopefully it'll hold up. Let's see here. Yep. Okay, so I have these in a box, but I'm kind of like pulled everything out just so you could see. High frequency has the electrons that have gas in at the silver part. So you cannot put these in the UV sterilizer, the UV box. You can only disinfect them with that out of the liquid. You'll see that in your um, aesthetic book with the high frequency is that it shows that they cannot be soaked in water. Okay, so you have to put them in a glass sterilizer or a plastic sterilizer that holds them up like this so that the disinfecting solution is only underneath the silver part. That's very important because it's a
Oh,
gas. Hmm?
what will happen if you do submerge them?
It
Are
might
you,
wreck the gas or they might crack. I've
mm,
never done it. I have to really watch my students when we use these because I don't want them breaking my machine. So I'm kind
mhm,
of like, let me do this. We could read, it might tell, it just says not to. It
yeah.
probably might explode,
Mhm.
something like that because it is a argon gas or neon gas that's in these.
Okay.
Okay, so here's the one that I was talking about, the hair one. This is shown in that manual really well. This is a really popular one because it goes anywhere around the curves of the face very easily. And then this is the
Mhm.
mushroom one to do like the cheeks. It does the cheeks really well and it rubs easily too. But this mushroom shaped one or the spoon shaped one, this is the mushroom one. The spoon goes around the curves of their neck and their jawline for
Mhm.
anti-aging and toning. And then of course, I didn't bring out the zapper one, but it's like a little tiny round ball and it's really good for zapping. You can zap with this one though, this tongue shaped
Mhm.
one. And then this one you can just comb through their hair and it feels fabulous.
That's cool.
So let's show you this one. Okay, let's find where the handheld is. Oh, and I just got a new one actually. Wonder which one's plugged in. Oh, that's the old one. So I bought a new one because somebody had like shoved it in too much and then was kind of like loose. So let's see which one's plugged in here. I'm not sure. I think this one. Let me put down my glass things. Sorry, I should have actually untangled these. So follow the cords. Yeah, this is my new one. Okay.
So like really like when someone has like a whole bunch of different services, like whole bunch of different facials, really it's mainly the different machines that you use that really differentiate the facials, right? So like
Exactly.
you're basically doing the same machine, might use a little bit different product,
Yep.
but really it's machines that make or break a facial. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. The machine, the
Mm.
treatment, and what products you use with each one. So how it goes in, they just press in. So somebody, you know, my handheld or something was kind of loose and was wobbling like this, which isn't good. So you have to kind of hold on to a towel or wrap around it or just put it in. But see, this one doesn't wobble. So I'm going to throw out this original attachment. It even looks like it's bigger. So I just reordered it from a different company even, but I just checked. It looked exactly the same. Okay, because you don't want them wobbling and you want to be careful. Don't break them, right? Like that's really, really difficult. So most of the time though, if you're going to use it on their face, you have to put on a conductive gel because otherwise it's going to tingle over their skin, or you put on a the gauze mask again, because the gauze mask will be really good for keeping their keeping a layer of oxygen on their skin. But I just kind of want to show you how I use this one on my hair. Okay, let's see here. What was I going to get? Yeah, so if you used the lavender jelly, would be good as a conductive, and it's also pore tightening, it's disinfecting, right? It's just a conductive, so it'll slide easier. Or use the gauze mask again. Okay, so we're going to turn it on. Let's see. Oh, how come it's not? What have I got? How come? Ooh, maybe it's not hooked up. Okay, let's see. Looks like it's supposed to fit in properly. There we go. Now it's on. All right. So you just have to make sure everything's in good. So it's at 3. So when you're going to just use it on the skin, you can put your finger on it. And although, yeah, there we go. Now it's working. There we go. So when you take your finger off, if we just do this on their skin, it's kind of going to zap them a bit. It's pretty low. There we go. Now we can see. So this is the purple glow. You can see a little bit of the purple argon. So it's antiseptic, antibacterial. Argon gas has a different type of treatment. So when we would use it on their skin, it's going to, now we let go. It's going to be more sanitizing, disinfecting. So you see how I can use this bar, but I want to show you here. I want to see how this feels on me. Okay. Ah, it's warm. I can feel it's warm. So there.
Oh, that's cool. I want one.
Yeah. So just put your finger until you lay it down so that you don't get, I mean, it's not really zapping me very much. Plus, I'm holding it. It'll be different on a person doing it because I'm kind of like not, yeah, look at, I got it way really high. If I was doing, I wouldn't do it this high on anybody. Ooh, it's really warm.
I like that.
So let go, put your finger on before you take it off. Otherwise, you're going to zap them. You're going to like give them a little shock. Which that's a good treatment for pimples, drying up a pimple or a cyst. There we go.
Nice.
So then let's just change this and put on one of the mushroom ones. Let's turn down the electricity. Maybe my new attachment's not all that good. My new wand. There it is. Now it's on. So you can see the glow. Oh, wow. You can smell it right away. You can feel it. But I would take my finger off. It's just if I take the finger off of myself, I'm going to like, I'm getting shocked. I can feel it. Yeah, I'm getting shocked. So, you know, you kind of need a partner to do it with. If you do it on yourself, you need somebody to help you with it. But this one is good for the whole cheeks. You can do it down the neck on the décolletage. It'll help those products like the serum to soak in, and then it'll close up and tighten the skin. And then if you wanted to zap a pimple, just you know, after they're all cleansed, you could just put on a little bit more of the acne serum or the aloe jelly one, either way, and then just zap just by going on and off, especially with the pointy ones. The flat one is going to be too much all around their pimple area, but this one will zap like this. So touch or don't touch, and then it'll really, really focus on drying up and healing those areas.
Do you
So
hurt somebody if you're not touching it? Like if you're not?
yeah, they'll tell you.
Thing?
Yeah, they'll tell you. They'll be like, oh, it's like too strong. So maybe lower it, you know, at first so that it's not too like they're going to like have a pain. Yeah. It's cool though. It's like good torture. Very, very good.
I know. I always, whenever I have a pimple, I always get the girls to do it at work, and they always use just like the side of like the mushroom one, and they kind of zap me a little bit, and it does.
Exactly.
It clears that pimple up right away. It's crazy.
Yeah, it does. It totally does. It's really, really, really good for whiteheads. Milia will melt. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Okay, and then we have ultrasonic is sound waves, so it's a little bit different. It's not the same kind of electricity. So ultrasonic, I have two different shapes, two different types of wands. Ultrasonic is in the first, so I already have both are plugged in. So whichever one I use, just choose the mode, okay? So for the I'll show you this actually. Do I have water? Yeah, I do have water. Okay, because sometimes you can't feel much with it because it's a sound wave. It just creates heat and tones. But if let's see, this is the flat one. Okay, so we have to change the mode. Whoops. There. So this is on the big wand. This one is really great for around their eyes. Okay, because it's curved. And it will go in around their eyes, and I use that for circular, and you apply it in circular motions, keeping it moving. Okay, so we've chosen the big wand for like the cheeks, the neck, the décolletage. Then you have two types of settings. You have a scene, which is continuous, so it's like a little let's see, whoops, sorry, let me move this. So it's like a little continuous, like an X there with the loops, like a figure 8. Or you have the pulsating one, the Tesla one, which goes like strong and weak, strong and weak. So if they really want a more intense kind of a treatment, I usually use around the eyes, the continuous, the tine one. Okay, so you have like several things. Then you have the on and off, then you have the degree. Okay, so let's put it on. So I have the right implement and I have it on pulsating or continuous. So let's put it on. So the light's flashing. So let's turn it up a little bit. So, oh, I can feel it vibrating. I can feel it vibrating, but let me show you this. If we put a drop of water on it, can you see how the water is all sparking and steaming? Isn't that amazing? So even just on number 1, or no, it's on 3. So people will say, well, really, is that really doing anything? Because they don't feel it so much. Yeah, it is there, because it's like bubbling the water. And it was even creating like a steam. Look at that. Now, be very careful that you have ungrounded them with the other electrical, because everything is plugged in, right? So one time I discovered that if I still had them grounded and I was going to go back to the Galvanic to finish the serum, that it would burn. This would pull such an electricity charge into their skin that it would almost like burn their skin. So make sure that they're not grounded with the Galvanic or holding on to it. Okay. So you can see, yeah. but I can feel it because I'm holding it myself. Usually people can't feel hardly anything. There we go. And then, you know, of course, you can use the one that's pulsating. Let's see if it looks different. Yeah, there it is. Okay. It's bubbling only. Let's see if you can see it. Let me do it. It's only bubbling like in flashes. Now it's like charges. It's pulsating. Whereas before was continuous. It's like steaming. You can't see that on the video a little bit. So this is a pulse. It's a little bit more intense than continuous sound waves. And ultrasonic is excellent for reducing puffiness, the fat distribution around their eyes or around their jaw lines, the neck. And it's just, yeah, very, very, very good. Those you just have to wipe down. You can't even like, you know, really, you could soak them, but you'd have to stand them up in a very shallow kind of container. And when I use those, let me just show you here. I would put on the lavender jelly or the pretty eyes, the pearls, but you know, charge more for that. And you could put the pearls underneath too, the jawline around the lips. All right. So then we're going to turn it on and we're going to go in circular motions like this. See how it will fit right around their eye area. Okay. You can take it on and off. This one doesn't hurt them. There's no disconnecting charge. And then we could change the one. So just change the tool then to the other one and then grab the one for their face. Let's put this one down. And this one's just a little bit, yeah, next time I'll have to detangle everything. And just go around and under the neck, the jawline, and just keep it moving in circles. But I'm tangled up. Okay. And then take those by unplugging the cords and then soaking them just standing up in a very shallow to disinfect them. A shallow amount of disinfectant tools, liquid. Okay. So that's all of your electrotherapy. And yeah. I think she's had quite a good anti-aging and deep pore cleansing treatment today.
It's only the deep cleansing facial that we have laid out on the course, right? So far.
Yes, I'm going to post the other types of facials and then we'll cover that next week and what products and the difference. So then we'll incorporate, you know, for dry skin, then which of the electricity facials and products should we use together that go together? Yep. So we'll go through that then on Tuesday. So let me just turn off this one camera here. Hold on here. And then we will, let me just stop this and we'll do homework.